Hello and welcome. You are now looking at the home page for productivity applications that work in the cloud created by Google. The basic Google apps have both a paid side, which is called G Suite, and a free side. And in this course, we will look at many of the free applications that will help you to boost your productivity once you understand how they work both on your mobile device as well as on your desktop. You will want to be aware of some of the features of the G Suite or paid side. You'll notice that you can have your business email working through Gmail. This means then that although you are using the Gmail interface, you will be able to have your domain name and email addresses that you dictate. You'll also have varying levels for cloud storage. For example, if you choose the business level, which starts at $10 a month as of the recording of this video, you'll have access to unlimited cloud storage available to you. You'll also be able to share calendars with other individuals determined to be on your team. Now, these individuals will need to be paying along with you in a group plan. However, again, in this course, we'll focus on the use of the free applications available to you created by Google. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in the first video. Sign into your Google account. What you'll see is going to be your account page. You can reach that account page when you're logging into Google Apps by clicking on this button that says My Account. And there are several things that you'll want to keep note of as you log in and out of your account screen. One thing that you're going to want to keep note of as you're using your Google applications is how much storage you have available to you. Now, every free account comes with 15 gigabytes, and Google will give you a reading on how much you're using presently with all the applications that you have active. Another thing you'll want to do is to make sure that the data and personalization settings are what you want them to be. For example, you can decide not to save any applications to Google or to your browser for future use, which would also dictate that this information would not be tracked. And all you'll need to do if you want to change something, for example, if you want to change the fact that your web activity is being saved, you'll click the button, and then what you'll do is you'll click this link, and then you'll be clicking pause to all of your activity being saved. And you can do the same thing for your YouTube search history as well as your YouTube watch history. Now, as you can see here, we've decided to turn off saving our activity for additional personalization. You'll also want to be aware of your privacy settings. So for example, if you have your location services turned on for your Google account, you can have them paused. You can also pause Google from saving information from your particular device, as well as any voice search activity. And as you can see here, we've already turned off the YouTube watch and search history. You can determine what information that you are going to be sharing about your activity on YouTube. You can manage your Google Voice number at number 3, and we will be talking about Google Voice in a future video. You will also be able to connect and make sure that the ads that are being served are going to be relevant to you. And if you've made any purchases using Google, you can then manage it through this area. This is a step that gives you control over any privacy that you want to have within the Google account while you use Google Apps, as well as protecting information that you don't want public. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Now, if you're already logged in, one of the basic services that you have with Google Apps is going to be Gmail. And you can find your Gmail just by going to the same browser and typing in gmail.com. What you can also do is you can go to this menu for Google Apps. By clicking on it, that'll give you access to these applications, and then you'll just click on your Gmail. Now, once you have your Gmail open, what you're going to do is you're going to go to this settings bar, and then you're going to click on Settings. These tools will give you control over how your inbox looks as well as how your emails are going to look. You can control the labels or the interface on your left-hand side. You can control what inboxes you choose to see in your email. Now, if you want to be able to check email from other accounts and you want to be able to do that in one inbox, you can, inside of this Account and Import tab, use this link that says Check Mail from Other Accounts. And it's here that you will write in the email address that you want to add. You can then choose to import emails using a POP3 system by clicking Next. You'll write in your identifying information and then you'll choose how you want your inboxes to interact with each other, and then you'll click Add Account. You can then determine whether or not you want to send email as the other identity, or if you want to be able to send it as the identity that you have with your inbox. And you can decide to treat this email address as an alias and then click Next Step. You'll write in your other identifying information and then you'll click Add Account. You will then be able to filter and block any email addresses that you want to block from your inbox. And you'll be able to handle any forwarding or any other email connections from this tab. Now, Gmail does have certain add-ons that you can check from this link in the Add-ons tab. And there's also an area where you are going to be able to chat with other individuals. You can turn this feature off and then save the changes, and that will disable the chat for your Gmail account. And there are 3 additional tabs: Advanced Features, Offline, which allows you to use your Gmail offline, as well as changing the theme or the look of your Gmail account. And once you've done that, you will then have the basic setup for your entire Gmail account. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, once your Gmail is set up, there are 2 actions you can take almost instantly to increase your productivity. Now, when you're working with specific email, one thing that you can do before you forget about what you're going to do to take action on the information in an email is to add to Google Tasks, which it now conveniently places on your right side menu. So what you're going to do is, once you've read the email, is you're going to open up Tasks, which is this blue bar. You will then, if you have an open task for the first time, you can click Get Started. And what you can do then is you can take the email, you can drag and drop it into the task that you're going to be creating, and then you can then write in what you'd actually like to do about the task. You can decide on a specific category for the task if you already have one. You can add in a specific date, and you can then add in specific subtasks. And once you have your information written in, this then becomes part of your Google Task list, which is not only on your Google Task in your desktop, but also on your mobile device. And when you open up Google Tasks, you'll be able to see the task that you have just entered in, along with the related email. What you can also do is delegate certain email to other individuals. And to do that, you'll need to add a delegate who will be able to access some of your email. What you'll do is you'll go to the Settings, and you'll click Settings. You'll then go to Accounts and Import. You'll then want to come down into this section where you can grant access to your account. You'll then click Add Another Account. You'll then put in the account holder that you want to have access. And then you'll invite that individual to your email. That person will then see an email stating that you have granted them access to your Gmail account. What they'll need to do is they'll need to then accept your request. They'll need then to click Confirm. But once that person goes through the verification process, which takes about a half an hour, they'll then be able to then send and view messages on your behalf. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now that you've seen the basics of Google Tasks, you can now use it as an application to manage your to-do list. So in a very simple sense, Google Tasks is a way of being able to create lists and subtasks. So you can start by creating a new list. You can then click OK. Once you have that list available, you can then start writing your tasks. Each of those tasks you can then edit the details of that task. And as you're creating your list, the task will be auto-saved. So all you'll have to do then is go back to the list if you want to keep editing. You'll notice now that each of these tasks have specific dates that they are going to be due. Now we can use our controls in order to organize the list. So let's assume that we want to move do research down. And then what we really want is for this to be seen as a subtask. And we can do that by clicking this indent button. Then what we have here is we have one task and then we have a subtask of the one task. And it's important to note that when you're using Google Calendar, if you choose to show your tasks on your calendar, those tasks will then appear on the top line. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, in most cases, there's a mobile application that works side by side with the Google app that you can use to keep in sync or to keep up with your work as you're on the go. And to do that, you'll simply go to your App Store and you'll find the appropriate application. Now, right now, you're looking at the mobile application for Gmail. And so what you'll need to do inside of your App Store is you'll need to then download the app. What you'll need to do now is you'll need to click Open. And then in order to sync your account, you'll need to sign in with the Gmail address that you are using along with Google Apps. You'll then click Next. And then your mobile application will be in sync with your desktop application. And you can see that here. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, Google offers users the ability to create both wikis and websites. And to do that, you'll need to go and type in Google Sites to your search bar, and you'll see the very first result. It's going to say Google Sites sign in. You want to click that link. You'll then see the dialog that says click the plus to create a new site, and that is what you'll do. You'll click create a new site. Now, Google Sites will give you a wizard that will walk you through each step or pretty much determine how you want to build your site. Now, what you can do is you can choose layouts for every page that you create. So for example, if we wanted to change the layout of this page, all we'll need to do is we'll need to add in this box. We can add in another box with a different layout. And then we have two sections of our website. We can then add in elements to each one of these blocks. We can add images, we can add content from Drive, we can add YouTube videos, or we can add calendar, or even a Google map. If we want to add in pages, we can do that by going to this tab. And then all we'll need to do is we'll need to add in a new page. We can then name our page. We can write in a custom path for our page. And then we can click Done. We'll then have a new section that we can then begin to create elements on this page. And you'll see those elements that we can write in or fill in with different kinds of content. What we can also do with our site is change the entire theme. We can use any of the themes we have available here in Google Sites, or we can even enter in our own image. And once we've completed the work that we want to do on our site, we'll then click Publish. And then we can give our site a name. We can decide whether or not we want our site to be indexed in the search engines, and then we can click Publish. So Google Sites gives us a very simple way of being able to create a site and then add content to that site. And we can view our site and how it's going to look on different devices. And we can go back and edit our site. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, Google gives users the ability to use phone technology on their desktop and mobile device. And you can do it through an application called Google Voice. So if you type in Google Voice to your search engine and then look for the first result, you will then find Google Voice. We're going to click inside of there right now. Now, inside of Google Voice, you have the ability, once your telephone number is set up, to both make outgoing calls as well as receive incoming calls. You also have the ability to send SMS messages. So, for example, if we write in to send a message, all we'll need to do is to type in the phone number, and then we'll be able to write in a message. Once we have our recipients in, all we'll need to do is then write in our message. Once we've written in, we'll then hit enter. The recipient will then see that message on their mobile device. They then can respond with their own message. And you'll see a message written into the response. And you'll see that same message inside of then Google Voice. Google Voice will allow you to receive voicemail from incoming callers and will allow you to forward messages to your email. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, one of the ways to use Google Voice is as a simple phone tracking mechanism. And to do that, you will set up Google Voice as the telephone number that you want people to call and that you want to track. You then want to forward that call to your regular phone number. And you can do that inside of your settings area. And you're going to notice that there is a link here for linked numbers. All you'll need to do here is click this button. And then you're going to write in a number that you want to link to your Google Voice number. You'll then be sent a verification code for Google Voice to your mobile device. You'll want to put that verification code back inside of Google Voice. You'll then have a linked number that your messages and your telephone calls will be forwarded to that number that you have set up. And of course, you can set up more than one linked number if you want to use this number temporarily for a particular ad campaign. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, once we have content within our Google Photos, we can then use that content in other applications, such as the Google Sites application that we worked with in another video. So, for example, what we would do is we can go to our page. We can then click this plus button. We can then select an image. And in this case, we can then look for the images that are going to be part of our albums. When we get to the albums, you'll notice that we have our photos available to us. We're then going to click the photo that we want. We're going to select it. And then we're going to click select. Our photo is then available for our site. We can do the same thing in this area. We can again select our photo. We can then click select. And our photo will then be available inside of our site. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, one of the useful applications that you'll find with your mobile device is Google Photos. And very often you may not be at your desktop. You may be taking an image on your mobile device and you want to sync it to your online activity through that mobile device. So what we'll do is we're going to go to Google Photos from our desktop here. And since Google Photos is another application where the sync is automatic between mobile and desktop, as soon as you take an image, it'll then become part of your photo gallery that you have available to you. to use elsewhere on the web or as part of your project. Now, what you can also upload to Google Photos is video content. So for example, if we were to go to this upload link, we can then choose a certain video. And what will happen is Google will give us the ability to choose if we want to just have our video at high quality, or if we want to have it at full resolution. We'll determine that up front. Now, what's important about this is that if we choose to use standard definition, uploading photos and videos will not count toward our total. However, if we choose to use resolution above 1080 pixels or higher resolution photos, we will find that that total will count against our Google Drive total. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose standard or high quality and not full resolution, and then click continue. You'll then see our photos and our videos together in this area. Now, if we want to share the photo or the video, all we'll need to do is to click on top of this check mark. You'll see then the share symbol. We can then click that link, and we can then share this photo or the video either to a certain individual or by creating a shareable link. And we can then use that link to give to others so that they would be able then to view our content. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, as of the recording of this video, Google Allo, which is Google's real-time chatting app that works on the Android platform, iOS platform, as well as desktop, is being depreciated for other alternatives. Now, the chat function in particular is being depreciated for an application called Messages. What's different about Messages is that it currently does not work on iOS devices. However, if you want to collaborate in real time with other individuals, you can use Google Hangouts on your desktop, on the iOS platform, and of course on the Android platform. On your desktop, you can start this process by downloading the plugin. You can then start the install process with the downloadable file. Once the installation is complete, you can then click Close. You'll then type in the web address hangouts.google.com. And you can then start the messaging process by clicking this message. Once you've found the individual that you'd like to message, you can then start by writing in your message. And you can then start your conversation with the other individual using this chat app. You can also use the video call as well as phone call if you want to talk in real time, whether by audio or face-to-face. When you click the phone call button, a list of your contacts will appear that have phone numbers available for you to contact them. When you click the video call button, Hangouts will ask to access your microphone and your computer. You can then click Allow, and then you'll be ready to contact other individuals. You'll need to send an invite to that individual using this screen or by sharing this link in some other place. And in order to chat with the individuals, you'll just need to click this link, and you'll be able to then send messages to everyone who is part of this video chat. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, another way to talk face-to-face in real time is to use Google Duo. Now, you will not be able to use this on your desktop. For example, if we click this download button, what you'll notice is that it will send us either to the Google Play Store or to the Apple App Store. So once you find the application in your App Store, you'll need to click this Get button. Then the application process will start to install. Once it's installed, you'll then click Open. You'll need to agree to the terms of service. You'll then need to give access to your microphone and your camera. Now, you will get the option of whether or not you want to sync your contacts or not. However, that does mean that you won't be able to make new calls using Google Duo. So you are going to have to give access to your contacts if you're going to want to use it on your mobile device. And so once the contacts are enabled, then your settings will be complete. Another factor that you'll need to keep aware of is that you will need to turn your notifications on in order to receive calls. You'll then need to verify your mobile device number. You'll then get a verification code to your mobile device. Now what you will do then is you will then search your contacts to find the individual that you want to talk to. If that person does not have Duo, all you'll need to do is to send them a message so that they can install Duo, and then you can use the application to do video calls, noting that they will need to install Duo on their mobile device. If you touch this other side of the tab, which is the audio call, you can also use Duo to record an audio message. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now there's one tool that you can get from your App Store called Chrome Remote Desktop. And that will allow you to control certain aspects of your personal computer using whatever device you'd like to use. Now in this case, we're going to click the Get button to get the application. We'll then download the application, and then we'll click Open. We'll then sign in. Now the first thing we'll need to do is to visit remotedesktop.google.com and then access. We'll then set up our PC for remote access by going to this link. We'll need to start by downloading an application. We'll then click Add App. Now once we have launched the application, what we can do is we can then click Get Started. What we will then do is click Enable Remote Connections. We'll then need to install the software. You'll then be asked to choose a PIN number. Now you'll then get a message saying that your remote connection will then be enabled. Once you go through the setup process, you should see your PC enabled where you can then select that device. You'll then be asked to enter your PIN number. Then, just as you see on your desktop, you'll then be able to see the same thing on your mobile device. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, in addition to Google Tasks, you can also manage your to-do list using Google Keep. And if you do a simple search, you'll see Google Keep at the top of the search results. You'll want to click into Google Keep. Now, we can start by creating a specific kind of list. Now, when we see the dialog box, we have a couple of choices. We can turn this dialog box into a note that we can use almost like a sticky note, except it would be on our digital desktop. And by hitting enter, then this becomes an independent note. We can then edit this note in a couple of ways. What we can do is we can create a reminder for the note. We can edit and place the reminder when we want it to be. We can then bring in a specific collaborator on the note. We can also change the color of the note. We can add an image to the note. We then have even more choices. What we can do with a note is we can add a label to the note. So if we wanted to tag the note with a certain category, we can label that note. And we can also tag it with existing labels. Now, even though we didn't do so at the start, we can show checkboxes inside of our note. And we can see that we have a note here. We have something that can be checked off. We can grab image text and then copy the entire thing to Google Docs. Now, once we have our checkboxes, what we can do is we can write in additional list items. And what we can also do is to set reminders. And we can do that by clicking this reminder button and then saving our reminder. And you'll see our reminder here. Now, once we have the tasks, what we can do is we can check them off as we complete them. You'll also note that this reminder will appear in your calendar. And to get those reminders to appear, what you're going to do is you're going to check off this button that says Reminders. And you'll see there that your Google Keep reminder will be there, and you'll see all of the pertinent data inside of your calendar. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, if you want to keep track of everything that you have stored in your Google Apps, you'll be able to do that through Google Drive. And if you want to find Google Drive, you'll just need to search and write in Google Drive. The very first search result will be Google Drive. You want to click inside of that place. You'll then go to Google Drive. Now, on the left side, you'll be able to keep track of how much of your storage you are actually using. What you can also do, depending on what you're using, is you can back up certain items to your Google Drive. And this is for other applications on other devices that you want to keep in one place, and you want to keep that data stored in a secure drive. Now, by and large, Google Drive is a place where you'll be able to keep track of all of your saved documents and photos over a certain size. Now, what makes Google Drive useful is the fact that you have a searchable system that you can use. And all you'll need to do is to go to the very top. You can then write in what you're looking for, and you'll be able to find your stored content or files where you want them. What you can also do with Google Drive is you can make it a place where you can deliver content or files. To do that, what you'll want to do is you'll want to click New. You'll want to create some kind of identifiable location. Once you have it, you'll see that folder in your folders area. You want to click inside of that folder, and then any content that you want to deliver, you just need to drop those files inside of the folder that you created. And as you begin to upload your content, you'll be able to track the progress at the bottom. Then your content will be available. You can then make that content shareable or downloadable. And you can get options by going to the file and right-clicking that file. You can open the file, you can get a shareable link, or you can share it to someone specific. Now, if you're going to deliver the file, what you're going to want to do is to get a shareable link. So once you get the link, what you're going to do is you're going to take the sharing settings. You're going to want to make sure that anyone who has the link can view it. What you don't want to do is to have it so that anyone can comment or edit. So what we're going to do now is we're going to click this button that says copy. That link is then copied to your clipboard, and that means then that it's usable for you to place it inside of a downloadable link. When you see the address, what you're going to do is you're going to right click, and this would be what your customer would actually see. They would then be able to download the entire file by clicking this download button. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, in order to use Google Calendar to collaborate, there are two things that you can do to make your calendar more accessible to a team of people. And you can do that first by creating a calendar that you're going to be sharing with other individuals. You can start by going to this Add Other Calendars. What you're going to do is to create a new calendar. And then you're going to give your calendar a name for your team. And when you do that, what you're going to do then is you're going to then click Create Calendar. Once you do that, you can go back to your calendar. And then you'll notice that your calendar is then enabled for that particular team effort. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go inside of your settings, and then you're going to click your settings. And then you're going to find the settings specific to this calendar. And then once you find this calendar, you have a couple of choices. Now, one of the things you can do is you can make this calendar available to the entire public. And you can do that by ticking this box. This means then that anyone that finds a calendar is going to be able to see the calendar as well as the appointments that are on it. Now, they're not going to be able to make changes, but they will be able to see the calendar. However, if you're going to be collaborating with a team, what you're going to do is you're going to click this Add People button. And then you're going to write the email of the person that you want to collaborate, or people. And the most important aspect of this process is to determine what permissions you're going to give the people who are going to be part of the team. And you have some choices here. And one of the things you can do is you can give everyone the ability to make changes and manage sharing of the calendar. Or you can just give them the ability to make changes to events. Once you do that, you're going to click the Send button, and then individuals will get an invitation to this calendar, so they'll be able to make changes to it as you are working on your project. Now, if you scroll down, you're going to find in the Integrate Calendar section an embed code. You can then use this code in order to place the calendar on a particular website, as long as that website has an HTML code area. You can customize the code to include other factors as well as other calendars, and you can determine exactly the way you want the calendar to look. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, one of the things you can do is you can give your customers, or those you are working with, a way of being able to search through content that you predetermine. You can do that by putting together a Google custom search engine. And all you'll need to do is to click Google Custom Search. Then you'll click Custom Search Engine. You'll then click Create a Custom Search Engine. You're then going to want to write in the site or sites that you want to search. You're then going to give your custom search engine a name. And then you're going to click Create. You'll then have the ability to modify the search engine or to make changes. You can view your search engine in a browser, or you can add the code to your site. And once your site is available, you'll then be able to have either, once the custom search is available, then you, your customers, or your team members will be able to then do any custom search. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, if you are working inside of Google Docs and you want to take that Google Doc and you want to export it into your website, you can do that. A number of individuals use WordPress as their web builder. And so the question is, how can you import a Google Doc into your WordPress website? And the answer comes in a paid solution called Wordable. To find Wordable, you'll need to just write in Wordable, and you'll see the site wordable.io, and all you'll need to do is to click inside here. And you'll note that Wordable has a free trial. So once you've signed into Wordable, what you're going to do is you're going to download the plugin so that you can place it inside of your WordPress site. You'll then head over to your plugins. You'll click Add New. And then you will then upload the plugin that you just downloaded from Wordable. You'll then install the plugin, and then you will activate your plugin. Once you verify that Wordable is active, you can then begin to use Wordable for your content. You'll then go to the Wordable plugin settings, and then you will connect to Wordable. You'll then see all of your Google Docs available. You'll take the one that you want to work with and then click Export as Draft. You can then determine the title, the post, and then of course you'll use the site that you are connected to. You'll then click Export as Draft to WordPress. You'll then see your draft post inside of WordPress, and you can preview the post. So what Wordable does is it moves your content into your post and then takes care of the formatting for you. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this course, we've looked at Google applications that you can use on both your desktop as well as your mobile application in order to boost your productivity. We've looked at Google Photos and how you can use them inside of your business, as well as Google Allo, which is going to be depreciated for the Messages and the Hangout app. We've also looked at Google Duo as a way of being able to do one-on-one video calling. We've looked at Gmail so that you can have others manage it for you. We've also looked at Google Keep as a way of being able to manage your tasks and your to-do list. We've looked at the Chrome Remote Desktop so that you can use your mobile device to manage your personal computer. We've looked at Google Drive as a way of being able to manage all of your documents in storage. And we've looked at Google Calendar as a way to collaborate using calendars and dates. And finally, we looked at Google Docs in the sense that we wanted to be able to take the content in a Google Doc and import it into our WordPress website. We looked at Google Voice as a way of being able to send audio and text messages. We looked at Google Sites as a way of being able to create a website that integrates Google Tools. And we looked at a more basic version of a task manager using Google Tasks. Finally, we created our own search engine of specific sites that we can look for relevant and business-related searches. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I'll see you either in another video or in another course.